After a few months now of posting my business journey, explaining how we went from a couple of college football teammates knocking on doors to building a $400,000 business in just 6 months, I've had people reach out to me asking how they should hustle, what they should do to make money, AI this, AI that, and I wanted to set the record straight on what it actually takes to become successful and my 3-step process in building out a side hustle or a business or anything like that. So I see it that in every single business model, every single hustle that you're gonna do, and I'm talking in the world of like under $1 million a year, okay? So when we step above that, the framework is the same, but the execution is a lot different, right? I'm talking specifically to people getting off the ground or who are considering transitioning from one business to another and some general philosophy behind how you should approach your journey in growing, making money, or anything like that. This also doesn't just apply to entrepreneurs, this applies to anybody who is looking to further themselves, achieve a goal, and go out and do anything in the world worth doing. The general 3-step framework, I'll lay it out for you and then I'll go through each individual part. So 1, you have to develop some sort of skill. And then 2, you have to find a way to communicate to others the value that you provide in having that skill. And then 3, you have to be able to teach others how to possess that skill and manage people under you with that skill. So for us, right, this is very simple in window cleaning, right? The reason why there's so many window cleaners out there is because it's very easy to clean windows, as opposed to if you're trying to start a dental agency, it's going to be a lot tougher. You have to learn to do root canals and things like that. And I'll talk in another video the continuum that lays on low skill, fast cash, high skill, really difficult, and slow cash. But the point being is the risk is always the same, so it applies to everybody. But the first thing that anybody needs to do if they're looking to make money or side hustle or anything like that is you need to actually possess some sort of ability, preferably something that people already want, but it doesn't have to be. People reach out to me and they talk about, like, maybe I'm thinking about doing AI implementation for companies, or I'm thinking about getting into sales or anything like that. And the first thing that you need to do is develop a skill that people want. And so if you actually want to go the AI automation for businesses route, because that's kind of a hot topic people think of right now, you actually have to be really good with AI and software and understanding what different softwares exist, what they do, and what's good for a certain industry. So I would even lessen that down and say, you could say, I only help local service businesses with automation. Then you can take that further of like, hey, I'm gonna go to every plumbing and HVAC company in my state and pitch to them on how I can implement AI for them. And the biggest problem with this is there's tons of scammers in this space and people aren't gonna believe you. So you have to show it to them. So I would say, hey, I'm not gonna do this unless I work for you for free. And I'm gonna do it for a month, and then after that you can pay me. Great, but you still have to possess a skill. Everybody wants the shortcut success. They don't realize that you need to have knowledge. My first tip here would be the idea of it's not about what you know, it's about who you know is slightly BS. It's about both. If you don't know anything, nobody cares about you. And it's very, very apparent that when you know things and have done things, people want to know you. For reference for me, I have never gone to any party for more than 30 minutes. I've never been to any networking event or anything like that. I go to church and I don't even talk to enough people there. But yet I have maybe thousands of followers on Instagram, or I have people reaching out to me wanting to discuss business or finance and things like that. And then when I go pitch to older people, they want to know me. They're interested in what I have to say. And the reason why is because I know something. I'm not stupid. And I've done some things that may cause some interest. And it's not to say how great I am, but it's what you need to do. So before anything else, you need to learn. And then the second thing you have to do is find a way to communicate to others that you have value in this skill, i.e. sales. I want to make very clear, no business has ever existed without sales. And so if you can't find a way to sell what you do, you're never going to make any money, which I don't care about what your passion is. The goal in going into business is to make money. And learning sales is a very, blue kind of out there kind of thing. What you need to do is just watch people do it. And nowadays, with online, access to information, you can go up and look up all of the top sales influencer people, and it'll actually teach you a lot. Grant Cardone, Hormozi, Jeremy Miner. Jeremy Miner is the best one out of all those, at least in my opinion. And go through those people and just kind of watch them. and watch what they're doing what's different than what you're doing. And I would start with very basic sales philosophies, isolating the objection. You want to be asking the questions more than answering the questions, and you want to have, a positive attitude. You want to stand side to side with people so you don't feel like you're staring right at them. And that's just some general sales info, but you want to learn and you want to develop the ability to communicate this. This is also where confidence, not just in your product, but in yourself, has to come into play. There are chemistry geniuses out there that have no confidence because they have no ability to communicate what they know. And if you think about that, that actually makes them less smart than they think that they are. If somebody is explaining something and they're always making it sound more complex than it actually is, you actually lose some trust and respect for them because of that. What you really respect is the people who are able to take something complex and explain it to you in a very simple way. People appreciate that more and they find it more genuine. So if you're doing AI implementation for businesses, you need to make it very clear what you do. Meaning, you could hire this CRM and hey, instead of you having to go through and run your spreadsheet for your books every week, this software allows you to just run your credit card and it automatically keeps track of everything. QuickBooks, for example. And so then once you get past this level, you should be able to make money with just those two things. But I had a conversation the other day and it was with one of my friends, and he said, because I made a video about investing into yourself as an entrepreneur and investing into your business, and he was talking to me about he knew somebody who was an internet marketer, social media manager, and he makes 150 grand a year and he has no way of making more money. What is he gonna invest in? And I was like, he needs to develop the skill of teaching people what he knows, because people would love to make $150,000 a year, and people would probably make $100,000 a year if he gave them the platform to do it. And so this is where the solopreneur, skill person, whatever, has to learn to transition to teaching people how to do what they do and managing people in doing what they do. There's another side of this, which is when you are running a business, you have to now do things that are outside of your circle of competence. For example, everybody in business has to be a bookkeeper, right? So if you can pay and invest in getting somebody to be your bookkeeper, your compliance person, whatever, you are now able to isolate and focus on what you are best at. So beyond being able to just do the skill really well, you have to learn how to manage and teach people with that same skill. Now I want to make a note though, the biggest problem in entrepreneurs that they do is they try to jumpstart this. So they'll try to do something where I'm going to instantly start managing people, right? And they want to scale so fast. Everybody talks about scaling. And the problem is that you need to make money first. The biggest thing I've learned about entrepreneurs is they don't actually take home a lot of money because they want to scale or they want to look cool instead of doing things that actually make them profitable. The biggest misconception about your business is that those profits are made for reinvestment and that those profits are there for the magical entity that is the business. When that's your take-home pay, man. That's the money that you earn, and so people treat it very recklessly and they don't use it as well as they would if they realized how hard it was to get it, or they thought about how hard it was for them to get it. That's my 3-step process that's very general, right, across all businesses and all strategies. I'm typically more narrow pointed in on either home service or finance stuff, but it's a very general point of view. Learn a skill, okay, find a way to communicate that you have that skill, and then be able to teach people how to do that same skill as you and profit off of them. If you're looking to grow your business and you want to learn more, you want to grow your net worth, you want to make more money, you want to stop just being rich on the spreadsheets and get rich in your bank account, make sure to follow or subscribe at A. Shablosky on all platforms. Thanks.